Welcome back to Iron and Covenant. Last week, we talked about one of the deepest needs every wife has, security. And today, we begin something special, a 3-part series through the Love Dare. If you've never heard of it, the Love Dare was born out of the movie Fireproof, where a husband on the brink of losing his marriage takes a 40-day challenge to love his wife unconditionally. What started as a story became a movement. Thousands of men and women have since used this book to renew their marriages. But here's the key. The Love Dare isn't just about fixing a marriage. It's about transforming you, the husband, into a man who loves Christ. Day by day, step by step, dare by dare. Now, we don't have 40 days in this channel arc. Instead, we'll focus on 3 foundational dares, the ones that set the tone for everything else: patience, kindness, and thoughtfulness. Today, we begin with the first, patience. It comes first for a reason, because without patience, kindness and thoughtfulness cannot survive. And I encourage you, don't stop here. Watch the movie, get the book, take the full 40-day challenge. I've linked them both in the description below and on the website, so you can dive deeper when you're ready. The Bible puts it like this:
Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up. 1 Corinthians 13:4.
God defines love with action, not feelings. Patience, kindness, humility. These are the foundation of covenant love. As with most lessons in life, I didn't learn this one from a book. I learned it in my own marriage, forged through fire and failure. And even today, I find myself returning to that forge because the battle isn't over. In episode 4, I shared how my drive to provide sometimes robbed my wife of the very security she longed for. But another battle I've faced, and still wrestle with, is patience. There were seasons, especially when our kids were young, where my fuse was short. I'd come home tired, worn out from work, and the smallest thing could set me off. Maybe the kids were too rambunctious. Maybe dinner was late. Maybe I just felt unappreciated. And instead of responding with love, I would snap. Short words, cold tone, silence that cut deeper than yelling ever could. It didn't happen every day, but it happened enough that I could see it in her eyes. My impatience chipped away at her security. She never doubted my love, but she doubted my calm, steady presence. And that's when God convicted me again. Chris, love isn't measured when things are easy. It's measured in the moments when patience costs you something. That's what the first dare is all about. Choosing patience over irritation. Slowing down before you speak. Covering your wife with grace instead of cutting her with sharpness. And hear me, this isn't just a nice idea. This is the foundation. If patience isn't there, everything else in love cracks under pressure. The Love Dare begins with patience. That's the first step. And in the weeks ahead, we'll build on it with kindness and thoughtfulness. But hear this, none of that matters if patience isn't in place first. Here's why this matters. Without patience, arguments become wars. Without kindness, words cut deeper than they should. Without thoughtfulness, a wife begins to feel invisible. But with them, she feels secure, anchored, guarded, covered by your covenant. And remember, this is never about perfection. It's about pursuit. It's about entering the forge again and again, letting God shape you through fire into the husband your covenant requires. Here's what this looks like in everyday life. The Love Dare starts simple. Day 1, choose patience. Go an entire day without saying a single negative word to your wife. Sounds easy, until you try it. If you've seen Fireproof, you'll remember Caleb's journey. He didn't win his wife back with one big gesture. It was a slow, steady process. Buying her coffee, writing her notes, choosing to bite his tongue when he wanted to snap. Brothers, That's what love looks like in action. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Slip her a handwritten note into her Bible or her purse. Do one of her least favorite chores before she notices. Protect dinner time. No phones, no work, just conversation. Hold her hand when you walk together, like you did when you were dating. End the day praying with her, not just for her. None of these will make headlines, but together, they build a fortress of love and security around your wife's heart. Because security isn't built in grand declarations. It's forged in the daily, ordinary acts of a husband who refuses to stop pursuing his wife. Here's your challenge this week. For the next 3 days, practice patience. Each day, choose one moment where you'd normally snap, and instead, slow down. No sharp words, no cold silence, just patience. Write it down, pray over it, and watch how God begins to soften her heart and yours. This is where covenant love begins, with patience. Small acts of restraint that make a big impact. And this is only the start. Next week, in part 2 of the Love Dare, we'll move from restraint to forging blessing through kindness. Don't miss it. Hit subscribe and let's keep forging together. Now let's get to work.